Hi there, my name is Mikhail. I am your shredded pal, and in this video you're gonna learn how to stop eating sugar forever. I believe you already know that consuming too much sugar brings a whole list of problems. Everybody talks about them, but nobody really gives some easy to follow advices on how to stop. We already know that the best way to quit will be to stop cold turkey, eat more protein, and avoid artificial sweeteners. Back in the day, I tried all of these and nothing worked. It made me feel like I will never be capable of stopping eating sugar, and I think you might be in the same situation. After a lot of trial and error, I've put together these effective strategies that finally cured my sugar addiction. First, don't be an extremist and cut sugar all at once, like everybody is telling you. Besides our physical health, we also have our mental health. Food, by being such a big part in our lives, when we stop having something that you really enjoyed, it makes us feel sad and also like we're being punished. And the biggest problem when you stop cold turkey is that you get to think about food more than inmates think about escape. You know how pumped you are in the first few days, you really believe that you're going to do this until the thinking game settles in. You start thinking about your favorite treats more and more every day until you finally give up and binge. This all feels like a big loss, leaving you low on self-esteem, discouraged, and that you're not good enough in order to do this. A good solution will be to think in terms of small victories, like eating less sugar than yesterday. This is way easier than becoming immune to sweets or anything that contains sugar all at once. So with each small win, you start building up your self-esteem, and also your brain starts believing that this is actually doable. Grab a journal or write somewhere in your notes what a small win will be. Skipping the second donut, putting just a teaspoon of sugar in your coffee instead of 2, buying just a pack of biscuits instead of the whole box, whatever it may be. Focus on these easy everyday victories and build up from there. You win days, weeks, and even months. Let's say it's your best friend's birthday and you eat a slice of cake. Do you think that will be a disaster? Well, is it a score of 30-1 in your favor a disaster? Well, for sure not. Not even a 20-1 or a 10-1. But let's cover that better in our next tip, which is to stop being hard on yourself and enjoy your treat. Without a doubt, public enemy number 1 is guilt. You have to realize that it will come times when you will eat something from your blacklist. Maybe it will be a donut, a Snickers, or a Ben & Jerry's ice cream. When this act happens, I want you to think of it as a conscious decision, not as an accident where you are all to blame and punished with more food restrictions and hours upon hours of cardio. It will come to great help if you plan your cheat meals ahead. This gives you better chances of avoiding ordering too much and also increases the quality of your cheat meals. Like for example, a Hollow Top has 3 times less calories and way less sugar than a Ben & Jerry's. In some bakeries, you can find cupcakes or similar sweets made with fruits that don't contain any sugar at all. Portion control matters as well, so don't go to places where they serve extra large milkshakes, cakes, or oversized meals in general. As we said earlier, there is nothing wrong if you have a cheat meal from time to time. A score to 10-1 is not a loss, but many people see it that way. They think that their whole day is ruined and go binging into a full cheat day. A full cheat day makes them feel like their whole week is ruined and it transforms into a whole cheat week, and so on and so forth. You have to allow yourself a moment of guilt-free pleasure. Most of the time, we get so hard on ourselves that we don't even take time to enjoy the very thing we're eating. The texture, all the tastes, really listen to our feelings and how it makes us feel. Take your time, savor, and enjoy the food in front of you. After you're finished, be happy and don't let any feelings of guilt ruin your moment. Now, to make your life easier and avoid overdoing these cheat meals brings us into our next tip, which is to stop keeping your favorite treats inside. All cravings have a trigger, and it's one or more out of these 3. First, it's visual, like seeing the actual sweets on TV, social media, ads. The second is auditory, like hearing the ice cream car, and the third is olfactory, meaning the smell coming from freshly baked goods. Each time we are facing a trigger, willpower is there to save the day, or at least try. You see, Willpower is a scarce resource. In one study done by the American Psychological Association, participants were split into two groups. One group got a plate of cookies and the second group got radishes. They made the radish group eat their plate while looking at the cookies. And what happened next is very interesting. After both groups finished eating, the participants were put to solve a tricky puzzle. The cookie group gave up after 19 minutes, while the radish participants quit in just 8 minutes. What this shows is that those who used their willpower to resist the cookies had less later on when they faced the puzzle. Whenever you resist your favorite treat, you're depleting your willpower supply. So to put your willpower through less challenges, you need to avoid as many triggers as possible. Stop keeping sweets around your house, or at least in sight. Tell your family to keep their snacks in their rooms or at least in places where you can see them. I know you love watching recipe videos on Tasty or on Tastemade, but those pages need a big unfollow from you. Cooking shows? Man, I love watching cooking shows, but they make my cravings go bonkers, so I try to watch them very rarely. Is the smell of freshly baked donuts hitting you every time on your way home? Well, you might consider taking a different route. Whatever triggers your mouth to water, find ways to avoid it. And besides avoiding your favorite treats, you can also put in action our next tip, which is to trick your brain with healthier alternatives. We know that soda isn't good for us and we shouldn't drink it, but plain still water is so damn boring. That's why you need to spice things up a little bit. Slice up some fresh fruits like pineapple, kiwis, lemons, oranges or cranberries and drop them into your water to enhance it with flavor. If the fruits are organic, then add the peels as well. Citrus peels contains oils that will not only add a great aroma but also nice flavors. The second thing you can do is add some fresh herbs like peppermint, lemongrass, basil, lavender or cinnamon. Play with different combos and see which one you like most. To get the best taste, mix both herbs and fruits in a bottle and leave it overnight in the refrigerator. Other stuff you can try are slices of cucumber, which have a mild, pleasant taste, and ginger for a spicy kick. As a bonus tip, you can smash some fruits, like for example berries, and put them into ice trays. The next day, you've got some cool ice cubes that go perfectly with soda water and a few other slices of fruit. Last but not least, let's not forget about tea. Besides making water taste better, black and green tea have also caffeine and are packed with antioxidants. Our final tip is a little bit more delicate to discuss, because there is one thing to eat sugar to satisfy your cravings, but binging over and over might signal a different problem. Every time we eat sugar, our brain releases dopamine, which makes us feel good. The same dopamine rush can be obtained through drugs like alcohol, nicotine, cocaine, or heroin. One of the reasons that many people use drugs is to cope with pain, whether that pain is physical, emotional, or both. Instead of using drugs as medicine for their emotional pain, some use food, in our case, sugar. Unfortunately, it's a double-edged sword. While in the short term it gives us that rush of energy and happiness, it only comes crashing down shortly after, making us crave more sugar, and in the long run it leads to eating disorders and weight gain. Trying to satisfy something intangible like emotions with something tangible like food is like being thirsty and drinking a glass of sand. It only makes things worse. The best way to fix this is to become more self-aware and start facing the emotions that burden you. For some, this may be very difficult to understand and act upon. Going back and blaming the eating problem might be an easier thing to do, but it will never get the job done. Start reading some self-help books, join a mindfulness class, Facebook groups with people that share the same struggles and have overcome them, and start meditating. This was my final advice, and I can't wait to hear which one of these you found most helpful, so drop me a comment below. Also, if you have any suggestions or opinions for future videos, I will love to hear them. I hope you now have some better ideas on how to stop eating sugar forever. If you wanna be one of the first to watch my future uploads, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.